Hey guys, it's Oberstadt. So I figured I'd film this part inside because you might not see much of my face here in a little bit. I'm going to be doing a oil change on my motorcycle, so I figured I would film the process because I've had a couple people ask. And I mean, legit, like one or two people have asked me how I do it and that kind of thing and talk through the process. And so I figured I would have my dad come along and fill in any of the blanks that I don't have. Also, word of advice, if you are changing your oil on a vehicle, make sure the vehicle's been run at least a little bit, just, down the road and back to warm the oil up. Not only does the oil drain out faster because it's warm, it's, like 70 something degrees here in Florida right now. And see, overalls, these are actually shorts. So the oil drains quicker and easier when it's warm. You don't want it too hot because then you're going to burn the shit out of yourself getting everything, the drain. Well, on a car you have like a drain plug. On a motorcycle it's a little bit different, and so I just recommend that you make sure that the engine is warmed up and the bike is warmed up, as well as your oil, before you try and change the oil. So the next part of this you will see is going to be outside and whatnot. Hopefully I can get a good enough angle so I can show you guys what's going on. I don't have like a lift or a rack or anything I can use on the motorcycle in order to get like picture underneath. I might try and use my phone, just lay it flat on the ground and just try and record straight up to see if I can get shots from under the undercarriage of the bike. I don't know if that's going to work or not, so we'll see how that works. So on my lips is a ColourPop lip stain, and on my eyes is the Danessa Myricks Twin Flames. I just put Turkey Day stuff in the oven. It is technically Thursday on Thanksgiving. So I played maid this morning and then chef, and now I'm going to go play mechanic. So yeah, it's my day off. So anyways, I will see you guys in just a second. Yeah. And I don't think the lifts that we have will work. That little thing that we...
Oh, I found it. It's right here.
Yeah, but is it going to fit?
Huh? It'll fit under. Barely. Alright.
Gotta go to my truck. What do you need?
Something from my truck.
Well, that's a whole lot of fucking description. You know?
I need a torque amplifier.
Oh, I want to show you before you drain it. I want to show you how much fucking oil's in this damn bike.
It's not sitting upright.
I know that. Okay. Here's this.
Okay.
Am I gonna squash? I am gonna squash
Watch
it.
your phone. It's right there on the ground. You
I
want to
know
put your
where-
heel on it.
I don't want to squash that. Now, check the dipstick. It's still
It's right on full.
okay. That's fucking nasty.
Yes, it is needing and changed.
Yes. So we're going to use my phone to get the undercarriage. We're going to use the big one to get the outside view. So.
Okay. I'm not doing anything special for you. I'm just going to do it. If you don't get it, you don't get it.
Here, put this where you're using it. I've got it so the camera's facing up. So.
You need to put it.
I don't know where.
How work?
I don't know how far under you're going. Oh, okay. I see where you're at.
Shoot. Well, this is going to be a problem.
Oh, I can prop it up on the tire. Hey. Is that the drain plug right there?
Drain plug is right here near this.
And that's
Right there.
that's a water reservoir right behind it, ain't it?
That's probably the overflow.
That's what I was thinking. Well, I'm looking at it from the camera. Can't fucking see shit right now. Good thing I'm having you help do this, huh? You've probably not been able to break it loose.
What the? Why the hell did they make it so damn tight?
That's what he said. I tried not to run it too far. I wanted it warm, but I didn't want those pipes super hot for you to work next to them.
And get burnt?
Yeah. I mean, it would be... Jesus Christ, you're moving the whole fucking bike.
I ain't moving the oil filter.
Do you think they misthreaded it?
No. I think they're just overzealous. Jesus, Pete, that's ridiculous. There is absolutely no reason for it to be that blinking tight.
Well, you can cuss on my channel. I ain't fucking worried about it. God, it's like an ant in the driveway, Dad.
Okay. All right. Move your phone. Stand the bike up. I may have to try and get it from this side. Where the hell is it?
Right there. You got your hand on it.
It's in a hell of a spot.
All right, give me that.
You ain't gonna be able to do it.
No,
It hits
but
the
give
frame.
me it so I can position it at least.
It ain't gonna work. The frame's in the way.
Yep.
I need a damn oil filter wrench, and I don't have one. I never have to have one.
That's that little wire-looking thing, right? With the.
It's a loop, and it's got a red handle on it.
Yep, I have one. Hang on. I just gotta go find it's on the other side of the bike. All right, let me get down there and. It's been forever since I've used this sucker. I don't know if I'm.
Doesn't look the same.
It's teeny tiny. I don't know if it fucking look the same.
Is this the one you bought for this bike?
Yep.
It's too big.
Yeah, it's gonna be too fucking big. Ooh,
All right, let me try this smaller pair. Get out of there.
hang on. Trying to burn myself. Okay, I got it on.
All right.
You see if you can torque that motherfucker. Aren't you glad I had one of those?
See if it's in you. It's good. You got it on backwards.
Where? At least I got it the right fucking size. At least I had one. You didn't even have one.
I don't ever need one.
I'm a girl. I have to use tools to get shit to work for me. And you're okay. Grab the. No, don't. Yeah, grab that. I say you grab this saddlebag. You're gonna liable to break it off. Still ain't right?
It hits the frame, same as the other thing. Mosquito?
Yes, little black one.
Oh yeah. Oh baby. Oh yeah.
Look at that fucking scared me and it's trying to eat you. Too fucking high? Need me to sit the bike up?
I got it.
Yank it quick. Now, is there also a drain plug on this bike or is it just the filter?
Drain plug's right there.
When changing the oil, I mean, I kind of went over some things, but what do you recommend for somebody that is servicing their motorcycle that doesn't know anything about it, how do they look for the oil filter or the drain plug? How do they know what to do first, what not to do, that kind of thing? What do you recommend?
Should always locate the oil filter if it has one. Not all bikes do. Take it off, drain it, get the new one, put a little bit of oil. Now, this one, you see there's no gasket?
Yeah.
That means the gasket's stuck on here.
On there. You need a
You've
screwdriver?
got to get that gasket off. Here's the gasket.
Yummy.
You have got to get that old gasket off. If you don't get it off, you put the new one on, you're going to have a leak.
And you're not.
Give me a paper towel.
I'm going to open this. I don't want you putting the old oil on this new filter.
Now, you've got to make sure the seat is clean.
And why is that?
Because you don't want to leak.
And what happens if the seat is unclean?
And you leave the old gasket on,
Yeah.
you're going to have a leak. And you put oil on the new filter so that when you tighten it down,
I couldn't get in the fucking oil.
the gasket doesn't get boogered up.
Which is why I got new oil instead of old oil. Because you don't want to put old oil on the new gasket.
That
there's
doesn't really
debris.
matter that much. But
There could be debris in it. Some carbon in there too. Looking at what you dumped out.
I guess it is the same size. It just look bigger.
It's so little.
It's not a very big machine. Oh crap! I got a leak. I moved the pan so I could get it off, and it's dripping on the ground.
Oh, Daddy. Rude.
Well, I can't get my hand in there with a pan in the way.
That's a clean one. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna sop up the driveway.
When you thread the filter on, it should thread on easily. If it doesn't, it's cross-threaded. Try it again.
And what happens when they cross thread?
Then you're going to get a leak. It doesn't seat down correctly. It's going to be at an angle, and it's going to leak. When you put the filter on, you put it down till it's firm, and then just turn it like 1/8 of a turn more. You don't have to tighten it up so much that try to turn the bike over.
And what happens if you over tighten it?
You end up with a problem like I had trying to get the sucker off.
Okay.
I'm trying to tip the bike over, trying to get the filter off. All right, you always make sure that you clean all oil off. That way, if you have oil shows up, you know you've got a leak.
Yep.
Okay. That looks like either a 15 or 17 millimeter.
What do you need? Wrench? Allen wrench?
No, I need a socket.
Said 17 millimeter?
It's either 15, 16, or 17.
I keep a 10 and an 8 or 10 and 6 on the right. I got a 17. Yep. Woo! Hey. Men.
I got it.
Well, I was getting you a different 17. Oh, you needed an actual socket, not a wrench.
I use a socket. It's
Oh.
easier.
Well, I brought you a wrench.
I saw that.
That's what I usually use.
That's because you're a girl.
So what would happen if I dangled this right here and went
You'd get your butt kicked.
I'll get this little out of the way. bitch. I brought you fucking tools and you bitch at what kind of tools I bring you.
Alright, you always check and make sure. There's supposed to be a magnet in the end of this thing to catch any iron metal. I got it. I don't see anything. Looks clean. Doesn't look like it's got a magnet in it either.
Uh-oh. God, that oil looks bad.
It's nasty.
I told you it was overdue, man. I drove 6,000 miles on this bike before we got an oil change, but we don't know what kind of condition it was in before we got it.
Yeah, he
either.
probably never changed it.
Well, it didn't have enough miles on it to change it when we bought it.
Now it's got 6,000?
Yeah.
So that's about 1,000 over. Big deal.
Well, okay, here's a question that most people probably don't know the answer to. What do you recommend oil change wise? 3,000 miles or 5,000 miles? And
I always
why?
change it to 5,000. Because the new oils are pretty decent. And all you're doing is wasting money and resources if you change it to 3,000. Always change the filter when you change the oil.
Now, if somebody had like a high-end car or, I don't know, a more expensive motorcycle like a Harley, would you recommend them to change the oil before 5,000 miles because they're more high-maintenance motorcycles?
Well, they need to look in the manual and see what the manual recommends and make sure that you use the type of oil they recommend.
And what is the difference? We're using 10W40 here. Could you explain why we're using 10W40 instead of another type?
That's what they call multi-grade. The 10 and the 40 means that it works at different temperatures.
Okay, and
You'd
why?
use a 10W40 in a moderate climate. You'd use 0W50 or 10W50 or whatever in a colder climate. Because if you use oil that's too thick, when it's cold, the engine has a hard time working with it till it gets warmed up.
And in what areas would you recommend somebody use something other than like in what states would you recommend somebody use 10W40? Like besides Florida,
Georgia maybe, Texas. But they need to look at what the manufacturer recommends for climate.
Let's see.
Also, your vehicle will recommend a specific type of oil. Okay, it's down to just dripping every once in a while. There's no point in leaving it go any further. It ain't gonna get much more than maybe a quarter of an ounce more out.
Only if you like get on it and jiggle it and stuff. But
Yeah, there's no point. They've got it set so that it's at the lowest point like it should be. We're on a driveway and it's slanted slightly back toward the drain plug, so that's good. All right, finger tight.
Ew. Like you've been
And
fingering,
lick it off.
You've been fingering Satan over there or something, man. Jeezy Pete. That stuff is probably don't smell too
Needs
good.
a bath. Hey.
Oh, there's something wrong with this.
You think?
So that one's a 17 millimeter?
Yes.
Okay, that way I know what to keep on the bike just in case I ever need it. 'Cause
Okay.
I've got other stuff.
And again, you tighten it up till it's snug and then like a 1/16 of a turn. All right, drag that out of there.
You got oil all over your ratchet.
I don't care. Wipe it off. All right, again, make sure you clean off all the oil. That way if you end up with an oil leak, you'll know it.
So you said spill this all over the driveway and yourself, right?
Hopefully not.
Now, what do you recommend for disposal of the used filter?
The used filter, you just throw it away.
And there's no special thing that you need to do with it?
Nope, you put it back in the box that the new one came in and put it in the trash.
Here, here's this. That's what I already did that. Ta-da!
Put it in the trash.
I hadn't done that. Okay, so now we come over here.
Where's your filter? Where's your
Picky.
All right, how many quarts does this thing hold?
Look, I don't know. 2?
Nah, it's more like 3.5, 4.
Gee, well, why is that?
Why? That ain't a funnel.
Hey, are you complaining about the size of me funnel?
When they say size don't matter, that doesn't go for funnels. stuff is too little. I wouldn't touch that.
Well, this is the one I usually use for.
But you don't know how many quarts this thing holds.
Well, I'm trying to get you to explain this stuff. So how do people tell?
It should be in the owner's manual. What do we got here? 5 quarts.
Okay. Oh wait, the phone's underneath the bike still.
Oh, that's cute.
Well, it's by the tire.
And when you put oil in, have the opening up. That way it doesn't go glug, glug, glug and make a mess.
And why is that?
Because you don't want to make a mess. You put the thing up here and the air can get in it and it doesn't go gluck, 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 trying to get air back in the thing.
And then it goes bloosh all at once.
Yep, makes a mess. I'm going to put about half this jug in and then check it. Because I don't know how much it holds.
And I don't know if we have an owner's manual for this. If we do, it's under the seat. I reckon I ought to look into getting one, huh?
You could go on the internet and say 2007 Honda 1300.
Hang on. Hey Siri, how much does a VTX 1300 Honda 2007 hold for oil?
Okay, I found this on the web for how much does a VTX 1300 Honda 2007 hold for oil.
3.9
Check it
quarts.
out.
4 quarts, okay.
Yep. The one says 3.9 quarts, says the manual says 3.9, one says 4 quarts. So you were accurate. Now, if you were unable to ask, I don't know, Siri or whoever, about how much it would hold,
Then you put oil in. This is 5 quarts.
and then you check it by the dipstick, but how do you recommend people check it by the dipstick?
You put the oil in, put the dipstick all the way down in, put the bike so that it's vertical. Pull the dipstick and check it. And it should be to the top line.
Use this behind it so people can see on the camera.
Use it up to the top line. This is half full. This is full. It's got a thing on here that says full. It says full. So you want to go all the way up here. Not down here, all the way up here.
Okay, and what happens if you overfill the bike?
You can blow seals. You don't want to do that. Then you got to put the bike in the shop and get it fixed. If you have too little oil, then it won't have enough lubrication and you'll possibly break the bike.
Now, are you gonna put the dippy stick back in and have me lift it upright? So
Not right yet.
Okay.
I'm not where I need to be yet.
Okay. I need to go poke the chicken soon. Now, do you recommend running the motorcycle after you change the oil, or do you let it sit for so long and then you can run it? What do you recommend?
As soon as you change the oil, you can run it.
Okay. What about long distances after you've changed the oil? What do you recommend there?
It's just you should be fine.
Okay. Is there any restrictions that you would say about doing an oil change and that kind of stuff that you would recommend not doing to the bike after it's been recently changed?
Nothing really.
Okay. Now you put the dippy stick back in and I'll go put my butt on it.
I'm probably a bit low, but it's better to be low, short than we have too much, because taking it back out is a pain in the butt.
Yep. Should be good. I've got my phone, so I worried about squashing it.
And screw the dipstick all the way down in.
You gotta come closer to the bike so the camera can catch you.
It says it's over full. I don't believe that.
You want me to slosh it?
No, don't slosh it.
It looks fine to me.
It's right on. It's just a hair too much, but that's not enough to worry about. When you run the engine, it'll go all the way up the side, and it should be fine.
You got sawdust in your arm here.
No, I don't.
Hey! You just got it on the receipt.
So?
Oh, it is stuck in my
This
finger.
gets spider webs with it.
Yeah, it's stuck in my finger.
Okay. So, you're done.
Okay, so any other advice that you would give somebody that's never done an oil change on a motorcycle before?
Nothing really. I've covered everything.
I think it's pretty straightforward, but a lot of people are like, well, isn't it difficult and how often? Okay, question. If your bike sits and you don't run it often, do you still need to change it at 5,000 miles?
It's recommended, yes.
Okay. And, oh, yeah, isn't that lovely what he did to the bike? I was so fucking pissed. He took my my tank bag off, and I came back to get on it, put my tank bag
Where'd all those
back.
scratches come from?
Him.
What did he do?
I don't know. He kept taking my bag off, riding down the road on it, and I come to put my shit on it.
He's done with my vehicles.
Like, he fucking scratched the hell out of this tank. I don't even like getting oil or fuel on the bike. I'm constantly wiping that down. Somebody only pressure washed half the building.
I did that with a brush.
Oh. Somebody only washed half the building.
Then you can wash the top part.
Get me a ladder.
No, that's why it's not done. I didn't get a ladder. Okay. So, I'm done.
Okay. Well, you got tools to clean up over here, but are you surprised that I had an oil filter remover?
Yep. I got one.
A monkey wrench don't count.
Not a monkey wrench. Channel lock.
You eat. Oh, what? Okay, guys, so I asked my dad a bunch of questions that I already knew the answers to so that they would be included in the video just in case you guys had any questions about oil changes on a motorcycle. Now I'm going to go put her back, at least by the garage door, so that I can get her put back in a little easier. Emma, Roo, I see you. What are you doing? Hi. Dad's on the roof. So, alright, I'm going to go move the bike. I'm going to record this so you guys can see. So. Want me to put the bike back in? Okay, I'll put the bike back in. Hey, at least unlike your other child, I put the fucking oil where it's supposed to go. Yes.
Why? Dad'll do it.
Figured I'd show you the other stuff that you didn't see. See that jug right there? That's where I put the used oil. I always want to do that. Put my shop towels back. Here is what the oil was going into. I've got most of the oil out of it. And there you go. Just make sure you clean up as you go, man. Don't leave the shit out for somebody else to do. It's lazy. Hey guys, really quick in closing, I wanted to say I had a couple of people ask me on information on how to change the oil on a motorcycle, what was the process, why do you do it, how often do you do it, things like that was asked, and that was like a while ago, and I just never had a chance to get around to it. And the thing is I bought this oil filter like last year, so I've had it for more than a year, but when I bought it, the bike was only at like 4,300 miles maybe. And then before I left for my trip for Georgia, I was gonna do the oil like 2 weeks before that, and then we just got busy and Dad didn't have time, and I wanted him to help with this process because number one, I've always learned a lot from him. He can be the biggest asshole on the planet and make life absolutely miserable most of the time. But there is a lot of things that I have learned from him over the years, and I wanted him to help with this process so that I could have his experience passed on in the video as well. So that's why I asked as many questions as I did. This was filmed on what is considered an American Thanksgiving, the day of Thanksgiving, as the kind of people that we are and our genetic background and stuff. We do not celebrate Thanksgiving because of what it means to us and the truth behind the holiday. So we always do other things instead of like turkey and gatherings and all that kind of happy horse shit. So anyways, hopefully this is helpful to somebody. If you have any further questions on how to change the oil in the motorcycle, where do you find your filter, how do you look up how much oil it holds, I mean, Google is really going to be your best friend for those kinds of things. But if you have other questions, please feel free to ask. I have only lived in southern states, so I have never had to use cold weather climate oil. I am moving to Georgia. I'm editing this on December 5th, so I'm moving to Georgia in about 2 weeks. Christmas Eve, I get on the road. I will have that motorcycle in the back of a Penske truck driving it to the Atlanta area, and that's where my new home is going to be. So I kind of wanted to get it done before that, and because there's not going to be a whole lot more filming with my dad after this, so I figured I would get it filmed. So hopefully this is informative. I have not sped any of this up. All of this is real time. I didn't even cut out any of the time, like when we stepped away to go get like tools, like when he was looking for a wrench and stuff like that. So anyways, hopefully this was informative and you guys learned a little bit more about certain things, and feel free to ask questions. I have been driving a motorcycle since 1988 on my own. Legally in the state of Florida, I've been driving a motorcycle since 1993 without a motorcycle endorsement due to the size of the engine capacity. So in Florida, just in case you're wondering, there's a law that says as long as it's underneath 49 cubic centimeters or 49 cc's, you can drive something like a scooter or a moped or things of that nature without a valid license to drive, because it's not technically considered a motorized vehicle. I don't know how they quantify that. I don't know. I'm not going to argue with it. But I did drive myself back and forth to my first job and school and everything else until I got my motorcycle endorsement, and then I moved on to bigger bikes. So anyways, I'm Rebecca Oberstadt. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in another one very soon. Have a fantastic day or night wherever you are. Bye.